Hey guys, Santiago here with Rogue Vehicle Company. I've got a really interesting project here behind me. It's something that we've been cooking up here at the Rogue HQ for a couple months. It is a Winnebago EKKO. And before you say to yourself, what are the guys at Rogue doing with a Winnebago EKKO? Honestly, the Winnebago EKKO is a very interesting vehicle. It's one of the fastest selling camper vans in the market today, and it's also a van that you can see in every state that you travel in. These things are ubiquitous at this point. They're all over the place. The EKKO has really made an impact on the adventure van industry. You can see all of these different manufacturers coming out with, the B- or the B pluses or the C minuses, whatever you want to call them, these cab chassis sprinter vans. And we wanted to create an interior kit, which would allow EKKO owners to kind of accessorize and do really interesting things with their vehicle. Because let's be honest, the factory interior is not something that I necessarily would want to spend time in, and especially my customers wouldn't want to spend time in. So I thought to myself, what could we do with this really interesting base? It's got a lot of, good kind of redeeming qualities about it. What could we do to the floor plan to make it palatable? And moreover, what could we do that could actually be something that we could sell and install to different customers, either at our facility or shipping them a kit from around the country? So without further ado, let's jump inside the Rogue EKKO. So we're inside of the EKKO, and as you can tell, this is really not your grandmother's EKKO. All jokes aside, this is a massively, very different EKKO than it once was when we first got it. I think one of the biggest problems that EKKO owners have is this massive microwave cabinet that's typically right here over top of the kitchen. The regular microwave cabinet comes down all the way to just above the window trim. It extends out about as far as this floating shelf does, but it just dominates the space. Makes it really difficult to cook. You can see I've got this cutting board here, but if we remove that, this kind of gives you a better idea of what we're working with. A part of what I did here was just kind of trying to have a little bit of fun, kind of reimagine it, see like where the direction of the project would take us. Key features about this area right here that really jump out at me. We've gotten rid of the microwave. Instead, we have this air fryer, cooktop kind of combination right up here. This works really well. These doors actually stay closed. It's not super noisy. This is a floating shelf concept that bolts into the wall. Over here, we've got a little micro espresso machine. In the center here, this is open. This could be like another appliance, kind of like a triple appliance shelf. I like to stack coffee cups right here, like the different enamelware that I like from Bare Bones. And then over here, we've got our 120 drop to power these devices. Above me, we've got the AC distribution. And then let's talk about this. We've cut back this gigantic wall here, which has really opened the space up. I think one of the things that I like so much about different products like the Ross Monster Haven or the new GeoTrek is the fact that the floor plan is really open, right? And that's kind of what you get when you get into one of these builds is you kind of have this really large kind of open format floor plan that a class C or B plus chassis gets you, this cab chassis format. And by cutting this giant empty wall back, there's literally nothing inside of it. You can see people online, they do like these pull out, storage drawers, whatever. I think removing it entirely is way better. There used to be a chintzy little curtain up here. We've replaced that with a pull down shade to give you privacy when you're in bed. This just rolls up, makes it super easy. We've also hidden the transition right here of our ceiling. So we covered up our seams by putting that in. Over here, we've got our pillar. This has an HVAC port right here for heating. This also has all of the 12 volt lighting that used to be inside of the van in the cabinet. And then we've got our 120 lines and the different distribution that we've kind of put in this soffit right here. I chose to do something a little bit interesting. This is not necessarily like a quintessential part of the kit. This is more like something that I thought was kind of fun and interesting that I wanted to do. I've got a little mixer down here. You open that up. This also has a few different ways of kind of turning faucets on and off. And then that enables you to, position the sink in a variety of different ways. So you've got this faucet that can, if you want to fill a pot over here, let's say you're in bed and you want to like fill up a cup of water. I mean, a little risky business there. I don't know if I would necessarily do that, but it's cool. And then when you want to store it, it just, pops right in here flush. You can close that guy. And then that's kind of your workflow. We didn't replace the sink mostly because it's not very likely that many people are going to want to modify their EKKOs in their driveways by like replacing a sink and doing like a full countertop. It's pretty involved. And you will see a few things in this build that perhaps you would think to yourself, I don't know if I'm necessarily comfortable modifying my vehicle to this extent. And if you're interested in these items, obviously we could do them for you here at Rogue. But the point is, we wanted to take the floor plan and see what we could do. So let's talk about some other really obvious things that are totally different in this floor plan. We've got our walnut acoustic slat ceiling. This is acoustic paneling. You get a little bit better, sound vibration, insulation. We have track lighting. We've eliminated the ugly puck lights that were previously here. This used to be just like a generic white plastic. We replaced all of the cabinet doors with full teak doors from Teak. That's a company over here in San Diego. Teak's really, really cool because they actually take upcycled ships from Indonesia, different islands over there. They cut them down, they refine them, they make them into plywood products such as this. They also make dimensional teak items that you can install. They make flooring. We do a bunch of their flooring in our vans. I really like the teak. I think the teak gives you like an aspect of elegance to the build. We've got our teak doors. And then another really big thing that you can see here is our wall panel kit. So this is a Phoenix laminate. It's an ultra matte laminate. It's mounted to an 1/8 sheet, which gives it a little bit more stability. In some places, we've completely just stuck it on. In other places, we've screwed it on. The kit itself is going to be 100% stick-on. We're going to have VHB on the backs of these. And what we've done is we've made them, especially in the places where the reveal is going to be kind of tricky, like you've got all these kind of little weird curves and stuff, we've made them concentric. And so what I mean by that, so if we come over here, you can kind of see what I'm talking about with that concentric look. So you might say like, oh, they got a little sloppy with the reveals. We did not get sloppy with our reveals. What we wanted to do was create a kit that no matter what happened in the factory, they're cranking out hundreds of these things at a time. Even if the reveals in the walls were a little different, we wanted to create a little bit of a gap here so that you could kind of get the kit to fit if the tolerances were not perfect, which I can tell you right now, they probably won't be. So you'll be happy that you have that concentric look. So we've got this really nice black ultra matte laminate. It feels good. It kind of, ironically, the black provides a lot of warmth. It also provides a lot of elegance to the space. This laminate comes in so many different colors. This is the same laminate that we use on the Odysseys, on the Warrior, on a ton of vehicles here at Rogue. We've done this laminate in so many different things. I love the look of that kind of matte, the matte cabinets. Now, if we move over here to the cab, you can see that we've replaced the seats with these Scheelmans. This is Scheelman's new Clima seat, so it has heating and cooling. That's why there's the micro perforations in the centers there, so it lets through the fans, the cold air. We've replaced driver and passenger with these. This is a two-tone Vario XL seat, all leather. This is a Italian leather, that Firenze leather is what they call it, from Scheelman. We're just playing around with colors here, kind of have a couple different, types of things going on. We wanted to kind of play with taking this plastic surround and completely upholstering it. We've done that in this green, kind of almost like army green leather. I don't necessarily know if the green leather here and the green leather of the Pendleton wool of the seats, it's all very subjective. I had a bunch of different visions for how I wanted this to look. I think if I could go back in time, I'd probably do this leather surround in more of this sort of camel color. I think that would have been a good choice. And maybe I would have done kind of camel colored leather cushions. But this doesn't need to be perfect. This was just kind of an experiment. We wanted to play around with something and see if, hey, could we design products at Rogue and would people actually, want to use them and install them? So we've got our surrounds here. We've got our Scheelman seats. Not a ton of stuff. We've got some really nice Navidoc accessories in the center there. But you've seen Navidoc before. They're an awesome company. Let's talk about these cushions though. So I went ahead and took the factory cushions that came with the EKKO, and we got, I think this is called the Chief Joseph Pendleton fabric. I had a friend of mine jump over to the Pendleton factory mill up in Milwaukee outside of Portland, grabbed all this Pendleton wool. We reupholstered all of the cushions in this Pendleton fabric. I really like it. It's a lightweight wool. We didn't choose one of their super heavyweight ones. We chose more of like a summer weight wool so that it would wear better in different seasons. I think it adds a lot of warmth to the cabin. We'll definitely be offering a upgraded cushion option for sure. There's already a couple companies doing upgraded cushions. It would actually be pretty easy for us to kind of team up with them to maybe do our own limited run of, colors or textures. But the idea was to, just really kind of change up the look and feel of the vehicle. So if you've ever messed around with these EKKOs, you know that the fridge freezer space is actually not very well used. I ended up removing the fridge freezer when we were working on the electrical system, when we switched everything over to Victron. The original factory charge controller is up against the rear wall here, and so I wanted to get eyes on it and also kind of take apart some wiring. When I was doing that, I discovered that there's actually like a huge amount of space in between where the original NovaCool fridge freezer combo ended and the actual exterior wall of the vehicle. This is an upgraded dual compressor unit. This is definitely a huge fridge. I mean, this is almost double the size of the original NovaCool that was in there. Even though it's the same height profile, it's actually not the same height profile. It's maybe 1.5 to 2 inches taller, but it is considerably deeper. This is a much larger fridge. Because it's a dual compressor, it does take up a lot more energy. You're definitely going to want to do one of the really nice Victron upgrades. We just did our own here because we're obviously very conversational with Victron. There's a lot of great companies that are out there doing power kits for these that are all Victron based. You could add a second battery. I've even heard of some people converting their EKKOs to 48 volt. But what happened is you're definitely going to want more power for this fridge because this thing is very power hungry if you choose to go this route. And if we open this guy right here, you can see that we've got a servo screen, a GX Touch. This is giving us, system data, all that kind of good stuff. We've replaced some of the controls. Probably going to do a separate video to sort of talk through what we did there and why. But the suffice to say is we're really no longer using the factory RV systems that are here, and it really makes it a much better vehicle to own. Properly interfaced the Servo GX that we installed with the WakeSpeed and the WakeSpeed controller. Now we've got good alternator communication. We can actually see charging happening. It's much better. We're also using the onboard Lithionics built-in BMS system data, so we're able to configure the Servo GX to talk to the battery directly and actually use that as a battery monitor rather than installing our own. It makes it a lot more accurate, and it also gives you way better line of sight into the Lithionics battery system that we're running here. Let's go to the back. Probably one of the coolest things about the EKKO is this workflow back here with the bed. I almost want to say that having some form of bench back here that could then turn into a bed would be really, really cool. This is a massive bed, especially when you take this center cushion and click it down in the middle. It is very big. We've got our Pendleton here, the same as the cushions in the front. You can see our ceiling continuing on. We actually blocked off the midship GE air conditioner that came with this EKKO, and we're just using the ducted pieces in the ceiling. I think it works a lot better that way. I think the distribution's better. You were seeing like a lot of sort of pooling of cold air in the middle of the van when you had that area directly vented there. I like it a lot better this way. You can see really like the real kind of impact of the teak doors as well as the black wall panels. This is the space of the vehicle that has the most exposed wall, so you can really see the black, how it looks, how it shines through. And then I've got a 32-inch Samsung Smart TV in the corner here. I've got multiple Sonos. I've got 2 here. I've got 2 in the front. I've got a sub behind the passenger seat. We also have a 32-inch Samsung Smart TV in the front as well. So we've kind of upgraded the TVs. We deleted that random soundbar that came with the vehicle. Everything's on Sonos now. And that's, the bulk of what we did here. I'd say all in all, I'm really happy with how this vehicle turned out. We're probably going to continue using it, for some prototyping and testing, and then we'll be selling it. And, maybe if this goes well, we might start making products for a few other vehicles. Anyway, I am very grateful that you guys stay tuned to check out this vehicle and see what we did here. If you're interested in getting an upgraded kind of EKKO package, you can absolutely drop us a line. Best thing to do is to give our shop a call or to send us an email, and we can kind of talk through what options you have. If you have feedback on things that you'd like us to do differently in this vehicle, I'd love to hear it. If you want to kind of share with me what your EKKO ownership experience has been. I'd be super interested to hear about it. And yeah, that's all there is to it. So thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.